Right. Welcome, everybody. And today's topic, well, it's almost a revision of everything that we keep doing all the time. It's about the positivity process and the n number of ways that we can do the positivity process. So even before we begin the whole dialogue on how to burn our emotions into the candle, let me first remind you, whenever we think about burning up our emotions into the candle, we have to understand that we are doing this with love. We are doing this with allowance. We are doing this with acceptance of that emotion. Many of the people, when they are burning their fears, they start to do it from the fear of fear itself. So they're like, oh my God, I don't want these fears. I can't function properly. I need to release these fears. I need to give them away. What's happening over there? What's happening there is that you're actually creating fear even about the fears, that if they stay in you, then it's going to be so bad for you. Guess what? It's simply a frequency. You have to understand yourself as being energy, and energy that plays in different frequencies. When we are unaware, we don't choose the frequency. We don't even know that all of this sadness, anger, frustration, disappointment, joy, love, everything is simply a frequency. We don't know that. When something happens outside, when a sad event happens outside, we get pulled into sadness. When an angry event, something that should make you angry and frustrated, if an event happens outside, you become angry and frustrated. And so you are corresponding, your emotions are corresponding to everything that's happening outside. And then begins this journey of awareness. And awareness is simply, as something is happening outside, what am I feeling? The only awareness is that of your own emotion. And when you understand this emotion as simply being a frequency, okay, your television set tuned into a channel. It started to show up something, and now you don't like what you're watching. Change the channel. That's all there is. Channels keep getting played, the frequencies are all in the air, and sometimes your receptor is likely to catch channels which you're not when you're not even paying attention. You're not paying attention, and now you tuned into anger. All right, but the minute you recognize that you are not paying attention and now you tuned into anger, this is your observation. As soon as you observe your anger, now you have the power to shift your channel to something else. But again, not shifting with, oh God, why did I again move into this channel? I keep doing that. What's wrong with me? Why can't I be in Meenal's channel all the time? Well, it's all right. Stop beating yourself up. The television played a program channel, and now you can shift it back. 100 times it happens, 100 times we only got to move it back. And so, for that, I always tell you in one step, release your current frequency, whatever it might be, of sadness or anger or frustration. Release that frequency and tune into mine. For my frequency, also, I give you a meditation. Do that meditation a few times in a day. It's a 12, 13 minute meditation. Do it. But if you don't even have the time to do that, then simply just keep tuning into my energy with this one line intent. I take energy from Meenal. That's all that it takes actually to change your channel. Why the 13-minute meditation? Well, because it even calms your conscious mind down. But otherwise, the channel simply switches in the minute you pick up the remote and you observe that this is the channel I'm watching, and now I move to Meenal frequency. That's all. And so, with that easy a procedure that there is, still some people will come to me and say, no, I've been candling for 100 years now, and still everything just keeps coming back. Array, if it keeps coming back, it just means you are moving back to your frequency. What is the work that's to be done? Change your channel again and again. And yet, as I said, when people come from fear, for fear, even for fear, they have fears. If they're getting angry, if they're getting frustrated, no, no, I can't be angry. If I'm angry, things will get worse. Now, what is this? This is not just anger that you want to release. Over here, you also have to release your fear of your anger, that your anger always ruins things. Whenever we are thinking of consequences, most likely we are not thinking good consequences. Most of the times, the mind always goes in that one directional track. This is not going to be good for me. And where does that come from? The universe is not playing in my favor. So again, as we go through some of the procedures, for positivity process, we'll deal with some of these and maybe dive deeper into them. So as usual, when we look at a positivity process, what is it all about? You observe. You observe your emotion, and now you start to hand it over to the candle. I normally work with with the image of a candle on my phone itself, because a phone is something that I'm carrying with me at all times. So if the phone is at all times with you, all you need to do is on the phone as a screenshot, put the picture of a candle. Every time you look at the candle, every time you look at the phone, let that be your awareness moment. And in that awareness, even before you call someone, even before you look at a message, simply look within to see what is the emotion, what is the energy that you are currently sitting in. And in that level of awareness, you will be able to release beforehand. If you're going to make somebody a call, and that call you're already agitated because that somebody was supposed to do something and you haven't heard from them, and already now the agitation is building up. Firstly, release the agitation into the candle, and with that you will find that your calls will go smoother. The work still might not be done, but you will find that you're not that agitated anymore because you've released the agitation. You've separated the agitation from you. You've created some distance between you and your emotion. This brings us to the awareness that I am not this body, I am not my emotion, I am not my thoughts. I am much larger. I am that who watches each of these. I'm not the emotion, I'm watching the emotion. And so comes in the distance. And when the distance comes in between you and an emotion, now comes the power of your choice. The choice is not that now you will do something different, but the choice, the only choice, and the only real choice is that you will feel something different. Outside, an angry scenario is playing out, and now you look at that, you see within, you check within, your fingers come within, and you check and say, am I feeling the anger? If yes, let me release it. And so, while outside a scenario would have made you angry, but now that you've looked at it, separated your emotion, and chosen another one, now that's going to be your emotion of choice. And that's that's the choice that becomes available to us in awareness. I even tell you, put an alarm for yourself. It increases your awareness. Put an alarm every 2 hours, and again check where have you spent those last 2 hours in. This being done, the next way to do this release of emotions is through the breath. And simply that, you can use it along with, these are not two separate processes. You can do whatever works best for you, whatever makes your conscious mind drop the mind. So we need to drop the mind and we need to come to the heart, and all of these processes are simply bringing you a step closer to the heart frequencies. Anyways, the second process being simply through inhalation and exhalation. So let's say you're sitting in a lot of anger, and right now you get to realize that you're sitting in anger. Then simply one deep breath within, and as you release the breath, this intent that this is anger, I'm releasing my anger. Through my breath, I release my anger. Whatever lines come to you at that point in time to release are good. There is nothing about words, there is nothing about lines. It's all about vibration. So some lines will come to you, something that will make sense to you. And that's all that you need to remember. It's not about, how much of it has gone out, how much is staying in. You are making the intent that with this breath, I am releasing my anger. And then when you take the next breath in, then you can simply make the second intent. And that is, I take energy from Meenal. So I am Meenal, or I take energy from Meenal, or I'm in the energy of Meenal. Anything goes, because the universe is not listening to your words, is listening to your vibration. And this intent is that you are Meenal. When you take energy from Meenal, who are you? You're just that only. When you're taking energy from yourself, then you are this, you are all of this energy field, and now in the process of shifting that energy field. So be aware, and you can do this even while looking at the candle. You are aware of your emotion, so release that emotion and then take in the energy from Meenal. Once this starts to happen, through the breath, you will find that you will immediately be calming down. It could be 5%, it could be 3%, but you will find a little bit more calmness in you. What does that mean? That the process is working. So if you are again going into this doubt frequency, is the process working? Am I doing things right? Then understand what has come to be released: the doubt. It's your doubt frequency, and that just simply needs to be released next, because you can't go wrong with the process. The minute you say, I'm the energy of Meenal, well, that's how it works. The minute you come to the frequency of doubt, you move there. That's how it works. 1 minute here, the next moment here. And through awareness, we start to stay in the frequency of Meenal more and more. A third way to do this, it came to somebody when she was doing her releases, and she would be sitting for 7 to 8 hours and constantly releasing. Even after 8 hours, so much remained, so many past lives were dropping in, so much was happening, and now what to do? So she asked in guidance, and money told her this other process. Simply, on pieces of paper, write your emotion. Write your emotions. So, if she was feeling fear, then on hundreds of pieces of paper, she wrote fear, making that note, okay, I'm feeling fear of this, fear of that, fear of blah, blah, blah. So, fear on the chits. And then once she had all the chits collected together, she burnt a candle, and then into the candle goes all the fear. And simply watching it made her conscious mind understand that yes, the fear is being burnt. So if this process appeals to you, you can use this process as well. Another process which just recently came to me, when somebody was, who was staying with me, and again she was like, oh my god, I've been releasing fears for the last 1 week, and I have not been able to release fears. Okay, the one thing that I'm constantly talking about fears, as the prime emotion that we have to release. But this is a process for every emotion. So you can use the same thing for sadness, you can use the same thing for anger. But I understand that mostly when we are feeling angry or even feeling sad, or our expectations are broken and we are feeling hurt, there is still, underneath all of that, there is some kind of fear. So, as we release expectations, look within. If there is some fear from where those expectations are getting created. If you are feeling hurt, then you just look within. You're feeling hurt, yes, but what is it? Is there some fear underneath it? Then take a look and release that as well. So, mostly, what's coming out of my mouth today is fear, but that's not the only emotion that can be released this way. The positivity process is for looking at every emotion. If you're sitting in guilt, then simply release the guilt through any of these methods. And the next method, which I suggested to this girl, so since she was sitting in so much fear, and I said, all your fear is based from an unfavorable future. Your future is not looking good to you. You have this thing coming up and that thing coming up, and your only fear is, oh my God, what if this doesn't go well? What if that doesn't go well? And you are sitting in fear of the future. So, for that, I simply suggested that sit at a bus stop. So, close your eyes and imagine that you're sitting at a bus stop. And as you sit in this moment of now, there'll be a bus that will come by, and that bus has tomorrow written on it. Don't get into it. Simply just keep sitting there and don't get into the bus. After a few hours, I asked her, I said, how are things going? She says, oh, lovely. I've been able to release so much of fear because every time fear comes, I quickly close my eyes. I imagine this bus of tomorrow coming in front of me, and then I just wave bye bye. I just wave bye bye to the bus. I'm not getting into it. I'm like, job well done. Because when you are not getting into that bus of tomorrow, where are you sitting? You are sitting in the now. And so, from this now, where you are not worrying about tomorrow, this is the energy shift that's already happening. And that's a new tomorrow that will get created from this new energy, which doesn't play in worry and fear. So that's why we keep talking about shifting the energy, because whatever energy you are sitting in is creating your next moment, your next moment. And so the more you sit in energies of masti, the more your next moment of masti gets created. So this was another method, waving bye bye to the bus. And another method that I use a lot, which was whatever emotions I felt or whatever releases I needed to do for that day. Let's say my thoughts are taking me to old incidents, or they are taking me to something that I'm worried about, or something that I'm feeling hurt about. I would write each instance in my register. As I write each instance in my register, and now there's a collection of about, well, 20 odd incidents that I need to release today, I would go back to each of them, read them, and now I would actively cross them out. Let us say it is a past incident of, something happened to me, and now something similar is playing out. Let us say, as I'm moving in a relationship, the person behaves in a certain way, and quickly my mind will go to a past instance where in another relationship another person behaved in that way, and then it didn't bear too well for me. So what will happen, that energy is again coming into play with this new person, with this new instance. Where is my energy going back to? It's going back to a block that I created at some point in time. So what is it that I will do? I will actually, when I'm writing it down, and then I cross it, and I say, no, the universe is playing in my favor. I am not the frequency that I was before. I'm a new frequency now. So when you are doing this exercise, you can tell your conscious mind, you can tell yourself, I am not that frequency that I was 10 years ago or even last week. I am now the frequency of Meenal. And in the frequency of Meenal, the universe plays in my favor. So no matter what is happening, this is the universe playing in my favor. And with that, I cross out each instance that has come up for release. Each of those places where I need to go and where I created maybe sadness, I created guilt, I created fear, I created worry. I write them down and then I cross out. So sometimes, when I ask in guidance and say, what emotion do I have to work on? And if the answer comes worry, then I will constantly just simply write down everything that comes to my mind, which is creating worry for me. If I think of guilt, I write down everything that's creating guilt for me. If it's creating guilt and if I'm releasing it, I cross out that line and say, no, I'm simply an actor playing a role. It was their energy that created this situation for them, and I am simply an actor in their life. And so I release myself of the guilt. So, whatever I have written down, I actually tell to my conscious minds completely opposite. 180-degree sentences. Neither the guilt is working for me, nor is the fear working for me. And so I begin to create programs and beliefs which are more serving me in their nature. We are going to judge ourselves at all times because we've taken birth in this body for experiencing judgment. This is what the earth experience holds for us. So while we are creating experiences for ourselves, at least let's create experiences that serve us better, that make us feel our awesomeness, that make us recognize the Shiva that we are. So, from that perspective, whatever I have written, I'm feeling guilty because I did this, that, and the other. Now I cross that out and say, no, I'm awesome. And in my awesomeness, I've created as a role player for that person whose energy is playing out over there. If I've heard somebody, if I've created hurt, the question still remains this: when I create hurt in them, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? The story is never theirs. The story constantly has to come back here. What am I feeling as I create hurt for them? I'm feeling guilty. Well, then, you just heard 4 or 5 different methods as to how to let go of that guilt and how to use positivity process in so many different ways. So just kind of recapping, why is it that we are looking at so many different ways of releasing? The candle works fine, the candle is ample. If the candle is working for you, then simply that, and be guided, because even in guidance sometimes you will receive a new way, just something new, and that is your personal guidance, that's your personal method for you. And so whatever comes in guidance, keep following, and it will take you into a deeper release and a deeper release of your emotions. It doesn't matter if nobody else has had that before. It doesn't even matter if you've not heard me talk about that method. It's your method. And so stay guided at all times. The one thing that I constantly talk about through all of this, yes, we are releasing, but when I talk about the entire process, even in my 30-day program, when I teach people what is it that you have to do daily, it's not just candling. What you have to do daily is a summation of three components of a daily exercise. The first one being journaling, because as we candle, we are only able to pay attention to whatever is happening just right now. But when we start to write everything that's happening, we can even go underneath another layer and underneath another layer. For example, if it's guilt playing out and you are only stuck at guilt and nothing is releasing, when you write it, you might even be taken to this next thought: what happens if you don't do this? Or what happens if this happens? And then you will find that even underneath your guilt, there might be a few fears. And so you will be able to release not just the guilt, but the fears as well. So writing is always a lot more, it brings a lot of clarity to us, and it also brings up many different emotions rather than just one. The second thing that also helps is when we are clearing something, when we are releasing our fears, to understand what fear, for whom do we hold that fear that we are releasing. So making it a little bit more specific, because normally what happens if you keep saying, I'm releasing my fear, I'm releasing my fear, I'm releasing my fear, and then again within half an hour you're like, oh, the fears have come again. I don't think the process worked. But if you, let us say that I'm releasing my fear for this activity, I'm releasing my fear for this person, then the next time your thought gets taken to the fears that you hold, you will actually realize that you're not holding so much fear, it has actually shrunk. And so what happens with that? Just the conscious mind feels a little bit better, feels a little bit calmer. The work is already happening no matter what you say. But our limited conscious mind needs to be at peace so many times. And so for that reason, we say make it a little bit more specific. When you release, I automatically tell you, that's my second step, move into my frequency. Do the meditation that takes you into my frequency, or simply keep saying those lines, I'm in the frequency of Meenal. How does that work? You're releasing your frequency, but you're immediately filling up with more of mine. As you do that, you will find that even though you will keep tuning back into your frequency, but yet this alternate thought that no, no, maybe I should just release this fear, this alternate thought will come to you faster and faster. Why? Because you are growing that frequency of guidance, you are growing that frequency of answers in you. Life doesn't stop. You will still go through all the emotions, but this choice that you can shift from one place to the other, that thought will come to you much faster. And instead of being in an experience for 15 days, instead of staying in an experience for 15 years, you will be able to get out of that experience and choose another emotion. So that's how the work in the energies happens. Coming back to the three-step process. So first is the journaling. When you do the journaling and when you figure out all the emotions that you're carrying, because the journaling will show you even more detail. So as you figure out all the emotions, now comes the candling part. The second part is guidance. To be sitting in guidance and to ask, what is an actor here to teach you? In the morning session, somebody was talking about pain, that can the candling release the pain as well, the body pain? And my answer was, the pain is a manifestation. The pain is a manifestation. The pain has become a tool for you to look within to see what is the source. Where is this pain emanating from? So, in guidance, you will not be asking questions like, when is this pain going to get over? But rather, you will be asking, what is this pain here to teach me? As you understand what the pain is here to teach you, you've taken the guidance for today. Now work towards releasing. Whatever work can be, do it all guided. And even for the guidance, for those who are new over here or don't know how to tune into guidance, it's really simple. Do my meditation, do that 13-minute meditation, be in the frequency of Meenal. In my energy, all the answers are received so very easily. Or sometimes, if you just feel like, well, I chant Om Mani because that's my guru. So I chant Om Mani and the answers start to flow to me. Whatever thoughts come, how do the answers flow? Does my hand necessarily auto write? No. Sometimes the new thoughts will come to me. These thoughts are now coming from the new frequency. So I don't judge these thoughts. I simply start to pen down these new thoughts, and these thoughts will bring to me the answers. Even if the answers are a bit shaky, I simply keep writing whatever is flowing in my thoughts. I don't pay attention to why is this happening or this doesn't make sense. Not in that moment. I'm in the energy of Meenal, and whatever thoughts are coming, simply keep writing them down. It's guidance, but yes, sometimes even as you are guided, your mind is playing here to there, here to there. So keep chanting, I take energy from Meenal, I am Meenal, and then whatever thoughts come, write them down. So let us say you've asked for pain and some answer has come. Most of the times, when we are sitting in body pain, it's got to do with attachment. Some attachment is stuck someplace. So you do your work, you look around and see, okay, what all do I need to understand about attachment? And maybe three or four names will pop up that day, and you do the releases for those attachments. Now we are done. Next day when you get up, you might notice that the pain has reduced, or you might notice that the pain has not reduced. Oh ho, now the pain has not even gone. I did all the work and yet the pain hasn't gone. It's not that. Let's not associate yesterday's pain with today's pain. Cut the cord of association. So if there is pain today, simply sit again in the moment of now and take guidance again. What is my pain today here to show me? Because what happens, you see, our our body experiences are limited. and we don't understand what all energies are playing out, but our attention is simply on pain. Since our attention has already been taken to the pain, the energy keeps playing out different experiences simply of pain, just to be releasing many other emotions. So don't assume that whatever you did yesterday was a useless, pointless exercise. The minute you assume that, it becomes that, a useless, pointless exercise. So don't assume it. Simply understand that the energy plays in so many different ways we don't understand. And simply, what is my work for today? With this pain that I'm experiencing today, what is my work for today? It happens to me many times that, I will receive an answer, and the next day, the pain will be much less. But if it's still there, I again sit in guidance, and maybe I'll ask, what is the pain teaching me today? I might receive another answer. I might receive four more attachments that I haven't looked at before. And so now my job is to simply work on whatever is coming up today. Today, in the now, whatever has been done, I let it go unless it's brought to my attention. So that's part two. That's part two. Part one being journal, sit and look at all the emotions, candle those emotions. Part two, take guidance. And then the third part is all about being in gratitude to everything, to be in gratitude to the pain because it has brought you to this awareness that work in the energies remains. If somebody is being an actor outside of you, then simply being in gratitude to that actor. So constantly these three steps: in the candle you put your emotion, and then you ask in guidance, and then you give gratitude to all the actors around you who've played some story or the other for you today. So that being the total process, I'm reading something. So someone had an accidental fall. Oh, it's just so cute because in the morning it was exactly the same thing. I'm going to explain this. I've already explained it, but I'll go into it again. And got hurt is it manifestation of some internal emotion? In the morning, somebody asked me exactly this question. So, what if I have pain? And when I said, if you have pain, it's a manifestation. This is no, 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 no. It's not manifestation. I had an accidental fall. Well, the accidental fall is a story that's created. Where is that story getting created from? No, no, that accidental fall was because I didn't see the step. I would ask, why you didn't see the step? No, I didn't see the step because I was talking to someone. This is all a story, but you fell so that you could have pain because that pain is manifesting from some part of your energy. For everything that happens to us, absolutely everything, a joyous moment, a painful moment, a sad moment, a happy moment, everything is a manifestation of our energy. Now, a fallen, it was an accidental fall, and now the fall isn't repairing. What are you feeling? I'm feeling fear. Why is it not repairing? Well, release the fear. It's simply a fear, and you release the fear first. No, if it doesn't get repaired, then in the future, this can go into a much worse situation, more fear. So, over here, what are we doing when we are unaware? With every thought, we hold on to that string of thought and create more of the same emotion. From fear, we create deeper fear to another deeper fear, another deeper layer. When we become aware, then what is it that we do? We recognize where we are sitting in that fear chain, and we start to release the fear and move to fearlessness. Yeah, yeah, if I move to fearlessness, I will not even be worrying about my body then. And then, am I not going to feel even worse? Is my body not going to suffer? Well, this is your fear frequency speaking. Can I even explain to you what fearless masti feels like? No, I can't explain to you. It would be like, somebody in front of you is sitting and eating mangoes. A lot of people like mangoes. And then they're trying to explain to you what the flavor of mango tastes like. You've just had Karela and you can't understand what that mango tastes like. So, for you to be able to taste mango, you got to be with the mango. And so, for you to be able to taste what fearlessness feels like, you got to start releasing your fears. And that's how simply the process of candling works. It makes you see your emotion, it makes you see your fears, and it makes you release them. There's a tool for deeper releases. I have an entire video on that. And when sometimes you feel that, no, I'm not able to release fears, or I need to look within a little bit more, and you feel that whatever you are doing is not enough, you can even go and take a look at this video that I have. Our channel is MPFY Fun. There's a ton of processes even over there, and that talks about how to go into your past events, past of this life, and sometimes even past from another lives. Just simply drop in, and then all that you do is release the energy that you created. Maybe something happened when you were 5 years old, and you're still holding on to that energy of fear or that energy of sadness. So what is it that you need to do? Release that sadness from that place. And once that energy is unblocked, we are releasing it, and instead of that, we are taking in the frequency of Meenal. So when you take in the frequency of Meenal, you are transforming that energy into joy. You are transforming that energy into more and more abundance. So that's my talk for the day. Does anybody else have questions? Does anybody have any more positivity processes that they wish to share? Because,
Can I share?
of course.
So I'm really new to this, but the other day when I was doing the meditation, the 12, 13-minute meditation, I started chanting the ohms that are in the background loudly, with it with my eyes closed in a dark room and my candle lit. I can't explain to you where all I went and came back. I have no recollection and no, somebody even came to the room and left. I was just transported. So that really I feel with the chanting of the ohms, with your voice and with everything around and your energy and it was just magical.
So beautiful, so wonderful. Now, that's absolutely wonderful. But it brings me to a point that I didn't talk about. We are not just this body, and we are, a summation of energy, and we are existing in so many different places. So, watching ourselves from a distance, that's the whole purpose of the positivity process, that you distance yourself from this body, from your emotions, from your thoughts. You simply distance yourself, and then you come to a place of blankness. And that blankness is bliss. When people talk about, oh, is this person enlightened or that person is enlightened? Enlightenment is nothing but blankness, zero emotion state. So, and you can be there as you release more and more of your emotions, as you choose more equanimity. Whether this, so what, if this, if, so what. So, in both the places, we are choosing equanimity, and we've lost our hooks to the outcome. As more of that, loss of hooks happen, we begin to flow, the flow that the universe is creating for us, in that high frequency of abundance, in that high frequency of joy. And with anything that happens in, outside, we are able to bring our needle back to joy. Many people will question me on, what do you say about disease? Because all of these great saints, they've all gone away with so many diseases. This one had a heart attack, this one diabetes, whatever. And when people talk about and say so much suffering they had to go through, and why? And as I understand it, they didn't go through suffering. You are looking at it from your frequency of pain and sadness and pity, despair and desperation. From that frequency, this looks like suffering. But the frequency that they are sitting at, so many times they show you miracles of how this one got cured through them, and that one got cured through them. And yet when it comes time for them to cure themselves, they don't bother. Why don't they bother? Because they are not attached to this body. They understand that this body is here for a purpose. And I am not this body. I am not my emotion. I am not my thought. I am larger. If I've come here and if I have to go in a certain way, am I going to suffer? No, I will go dancing. Because no matter what happens outside, inside, within, what will I be doing? Dancing. So that's how, and that's how all the energy is within. So all the work on us is also within. Somebody writes to me saying, what's our purpose? Does each individual have a different purpose? Our purpose is to be in masti. That's our purpose. That is the biggest purpose. And the masti is, as I understand it by now, is equanimity. Because when we let go of purpose, what is my purpose? You are actually in your purpose every moment, because your energy has created a body form. You didn't start out being zero. Your energy entered a womb and co created this body form for a certain set of experiences. Anytime that your energy put you into a lot of sadness, your biggest purpose in life in that breath was to experience that sadness. And so we are constantly fulfilling our purpose. We are constantly fulfilling our purpose. It has nothing to do with what our little mind thinks of. I need to help someone. You know what? If you need to help someone, look within where you are coming from. I used to have this major push in me that I need to help people. And as I looked at that deeper and deeper, out came the doership. And last week, the whole webinar was about doership and how we need to release doership and then flow with the universe, because the universe has a purpose for us in every breath. The very concentrated purpose that I have been told for everybody is to bring masti to ourselves, is to bring equanimity and to flow. Kanika, put your hand down. No, no, I saw the hand and I'm seeing her beaming. Like I say, like I see her like 34 teeth. Do you have 34 teeth? There's two extra, just like that. So, anyways, so yes, Kanika, go ahead. Please share.
Yeah, I have a miracle to share. Like just like when you spoke about the tasting of the mango. So, but like while I'm doing the PLRs this time as well. So in two of the PLRs, there was a miracle that I saw. It wasn't like just the word trust that I would say, but like normally when I do the PLRs and when people are stuck in the emotions, we make them release the emotions, or we call upon money either in the form of a butterfly or him doing something and we direct the person. But this time in two of the PLRs, I was tuned into another level of faith, I would say. I don't know what it was, and I wasn't even telling the person to do anything. I simply, it just happened that I said that you have to do nothing. You have to simply wait and watch what money does. So much trust I had, and magically things were happening for them and at the same time for me, like in different ways. Sometimes money sucking things out of them, or like totally different experiences. So for this was for the first time ever I tasted what pure faith is. And
Hmm.
of course I'm back to I'm waving a little bit, but
That's
that's
okay.
okay. Like I
Yeah,
know.
that's
Yeah.
okay. Huh. You've tasted something, and now you will get into that place more and more. That place has already shown up. You know what it looks like, and now you will constantly be able to tune into that level of frequency. And that's how we work our frequencies up into more masti, more equanimity. Despite releasing the emotions many times over, one is back to square one. Repeating the release process is the answer, but it gets tiring and hopeless after a while. And then you release the tiredness and hopelessness. And then whole thing keeps repeating over and over. Okay? For you to understand that as you are tuning again and again back into your own frequencies, just simply, if one thing gets tiring, then simply just relax. The whole point is not to tire you out. The whole point is actually to bring you to lightness. So stay guided, and you have to ask in guidance. what is my next step? And I must share this with you because I live every moment in a lot of awareness. And yet, there are so many days while I'm aware that I'm acting in unawareness, I'm asked to do nothing. I'm asked to stay in that unawareness. It just doesn't come to me that I should be releasing right now. And so I simply sit in that space and I experience, okay, whatever needs to be experienced, I am here to experience. But in all of that, even as I'm experiencing, let us say, sadness, I know, I understand that it's only a frequency. I have the power to shift back. This power is something that you got to understand and claim. If the frequency plays out for 5 more days, it's still only a frequency. It's a channel that you've tuned into accidentally, and now you are watching that channel. But don't let it create more fear or more worry for you. Watch it, even that from the distance. Also, I always tell people these are tools, these are not rules. And every time we make some tool as a rule, we are actually binding us. Have we done this right? Are we not doing this right? Yes, I understand that more work remains with it. But where is that work? Maybe you are not looking in where what all needs to be released. So ask for help from money. Say Om Money, chant Om Money a few times, and simply ask this question: what do I need to release today? And whatever comes to your mind at that point in time, simply release that and be aware of what you're going through in the whole day, and the answers will come. So one says, I release the worry. Thank you, universe. Okay, maybe you didn't hear it, but I actually said that words are not important. As you are releasing the worry, whatever words come to you, those words are good enough. When you are releasing the worry, don't do it with fear. Don't do it with what are the words I needed to speak. Am I doing it right? Meenal said 4 more lines. Have I got them all? No, none of that. When I one day was sitting and releasing my worries, it was to a particular actor. You need to change his life today. I was ordering Shiva. The answer kept coming, release your worry. And I was like, no, 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 you don't understand. I'm releasing my worry, but you need to change this person's life. Today, when I sit back, I laugh because, here I was trying to release my worry with my head solidly planted in one direction with an outcome in mind. Will the worry get released with that? No. First, I need to release my attachment to the outcome. 12 hours later, when I kept releasing, I kept releasing. And then Shiva came up with 3 lines for me, and then those 3 lines I've repeated many a times over, but I give them over here again. Shiva said to me, why do you worry? Why do you worry? You have plans, none of them work. I have plans, all of them work. So why do you worry? And so that was the last point from where all worry went out. Because whenever I get worried, I understand that he has plans, and those plans are not keeping my outcomes in mind. Those plans with that person are between them two. That's their energy fields at play. My worry is mine, and so I should simply release it. When I released my worry, I was tested a few times, and I looked within and I said, wow, I'm really not feeling the worry anymore. Everybody, everything playing to their own energies, and I am simply letting go of my doership. So the doership went. The worry comes when you are sitting in a lot of doership. And with that, I do the candle and I can release it. But again, wherever you are getting stuck, wherever you are finding that you are not able to release, try out any of these processes. Especially, I love the one with the bus where you simply sit and say, okay, I'm not going to worry about the future. I'm not sitting on that bus. Bye bye, bus. Bye bye, the bus of tomorrow. I just laughed at the simplicity of it all. And that's how it is. Things are meant to be simple. If things are getting to be difficult, then again, you are somewhere in the mind. The one chant that you might want to do at that point in time is, I drop my mind. Not worry about one's enlightenment too, right? Definitely not worry about enlightenment, because you know what? Enlightenment is so overrated. Every moment that you're sitting in blankness and you're sitting emotionless and you're floating in joy, that's enlightenment. That's all there is to it. And you can be right there. And again, in the next minute, something will play and you will come into a story. And then 2 minutes later, you will recognize, oops, story, I got into it. And then again, you will change your frequency and come into enlightenment. So, enlightenment, it's not a constant state. Nothing is a constant state. Everything simply a frequency. So, don't worry about enlightenment. You are already enlightened. And so now, with this understanding, 100% enlightenment is already with you. Now, move forward, and whatever worry you hold about being enlightened, into the candle. Okay, everybody, lots and lots of love to everybody. And okay, I've got this. At times, the emotion keeps coming back, or we feel that we aren't shifting. We must look within and see if there are any beliefs and programs. Thank you, Kanika, that we are holding with respect to time or struggle. It takes time, or it's not easy. Look into the emotions and break those programs. And this mantra, the universe is always playing in my favor, and everything comes to me with ease and grace. Here, Kanika has put down her whole life story in this paragraph, because when she came to me, this is such a strong program and it can't come so easily. I must pack up my bags and go to the Himalayas, and only then will the grace come upon me. Because the minute you create that belief, guess what? The universe will say amen to you. And so whatever beliefs you have about struggle, and Kanika had so many of them and she broke through all. Now when I say, Kanika does this, and she's like, no, 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 used to, past, in the past. And so recognizing that, yes, once we break the programs, we will be able to see the shift in the outside as well.
We can't hear you.